Hey everyone, welcome to today's lecture. We're talking about something that's a rare commodity, and every day we play the game of chess against one of our adversaries, and that adversary is time. Time. We fight against time constantly. There's another channel called Bug. I suggest you go and look at that channel. There's a lot of traffic on this road, but I suggest you go and have a look at that channel. And I laid a comment down and Bug replied back, and I made a statement in that comment on one of his videos, and I made a statement that I was closer to death than closer to birth. So let me just repeat that back to you. I'm closer to death than closer to birth. So, I'll admit it, I'm 57 years old now. I know I'm not going to live another 57 years unless something miraculous happens. So time is my adversary now. I have to fight time. I was also watching one of these shorts the other day, and it made me think of a couple of things. And this short was I think it was about, let's say, a 50-year-old guy in an interview. And the interviewer was asking him an interesting question. And the interviewer was saying to this 50-year-old guy, how come you've got 40 years worth of experience in whatever field it was? And the guy responded by saying, that's overtime. So what he was actually saying is, he hadn't got 30 years of experience, but he'd accumulated so much experience through doing overtime. There's a good point there. Let's go into this field. Look at this. Just look at this beautiful God's land in Britain, in the UK. Wow. I know that most of my subscribers are aged 45 and up. But I do have about 10% or 15% that are about 25 and up. And this lecture, quotes, is about how you spend your time. So there's a little bit of a story here. So in my early years in IT, I ended up getting into the management role where you didn't get paid overtime. I previously got paid overtime for writing software and things like that. But when you get into management, you don't get paid overtime. And you end up doing 14 hours a day. And you end up going up the scale of management. And you keep on going up and you get a bit more pay and a bit more pay. But it doesn't equate out. And you end up doing 14 hours a day, which I did. 14 hours a day. So I was being paid 8 hours and doing 14 hours. So I was in effect working free for 6 hours a day. Time was different then. But now we need to take advantage of what time we have. and move forward with that available time and do what really is important to you. Now, BP as a channel is about motorcycles, and motorcycles are important to me. They really are. And it's one of the ways that I can keep myself in check when it comes to mental health and things like that. Now, this is not about mental health, but what it's about is, don't necessarily chase time. Don't work for nothing like I did in the past. Sometimes we have to work longer days, but make sure it balances out at the end of the month, that you've done your contracted hours, and that's all. Yeah? Don't work yourself to death just to make the product on time, and the product is never on time. Let's just understand that. Through poor management, the product is always late, or it's not actually the product that the customer wanted. It's just part of what the customer wanted, and that through change management will extend the project out even further and cost even more, and then ultimately the product will be delivered to the customer. But you can't claw that time back. You can't claw that time back. So be careful how you work this commodity in your life. Make sure that you get the right balance, be able to go out on your motorbike, or play golf, or play squash, or play chess. And make sure that you've got the right balance. They always say no one was on the deathbed saying, I wish I'd worked harder. Just get the right balance. Remember, I'm closer to death than closer to birth. My adversary is the clock. And based on my limited time available on this planet, of which I'm fine with, I would like to get my priorities in order and take my motorbike out. What do you think to that? Anyway, I've got a joke for you now. But before I tell you the joke, this weather in the UK is so cold. Having lived in Qatar where it's much warmer, Jesus Christ, it is so cold. It is absolutely freezing. I mean, this is a March day. It's beautiful sunshine, but my God, is it cold. I'm really struggling to get used to the UK temperatures. Having spent just under 2 years over in Qatar, I must have been spoiled. Anyway, I've got a joke for you. Here's the joke. I'll clear my throat. Let's see how this joke goes down. A lady, the wife of this guy, has to phone up the guy's boss because he's been involved in an accident. So she phones up the boss, let's call him Dave, and she says, hi Dave, says, Bob's been involved in an accident. He won't be coming into work for a few days. He's chopped his finger off. So Dave, the boss, says, what, the whole finger? And she says, no, the one next to it. Hopefully you got that joke. Comments below. Tell me what your thoughts are. Your adversary What's your adversary? Is it time or what? I'm going to walk home out of this cold. There we go. Right, let's get back on the path or the road. Did you find this useful? I hope so. Did you enjoy the coffee making clip? I do love my coffee. I really do love my coffee. And it's a great machine. If you like good coffee, get one of those DeLonghi Magnificas. They're absolutely wonderful. And this isn't a sponsored advert. There's no sponsorship in my channel. Hope you found this useful. Riding motorbikes, ride safe. Just remember to ride as if you're invisible. No one can see you, and then you'll have half a chance of surviving. Shiny side up again, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks very much. See you soon. Bye bye.